We've been here almost a week, and I feel like we've done 6 months worth of work.
I agree.
Alicia, are you going to be hearing anything from Cammie today?
They were able to prioritize these cases that we sent to them.
Cammie and all of the hardworking people at Sorensen have been working on the 71 kits that we sent them, hoping to get DNA profiles.
I'm looking forward to seeing those responses.
Absolutely.
While all of our DNA results were not completely in during our first week in Flint, we were able to get 2 arrests and 1 confession.
I did something stupid. I wish I could take it back.
He's totally got it. And we're hoping to make even more progress this week. And although the city has suffered from decades of economic depression and a police department that has been decimated by budget cuts, Chief Tolbert is working to turn things around and making the backlog of untested rape kits a priority.
You know, you can't have this kind of evidence just sitting around.
He's not worried about trying to assess blame. He's just ready to deal with it. And he's assigned 2 really awesome guys.
We still need a search.
Sergeant Will Surface and Devin Bernritter are just unbelievable. They've done nothing but work so hard.
I think one of my favorite things about this project so far has been our ability to just come in and help out by adding resources that they didn't have before. And
you know, the biggest reason we're all doing this is to give these victims a voice and to bring them some justice.
Every single rape kit represents a person waiting for answers.
The biggest reason we're doing this is to bring these survivors some justice.
Cammie?
Yes.
We're all very interested to hear about the DNA testing you did for us.
More DNA testing has been completed since we got here, and Sorensen is giving us the full update.
Out of the 71 kits, 65 of them were positive for the presence of male DNA. 38 of them yielded what we called a CODIS comparable profile.
CODIS is a national database that stores DNA both of known offenders and forensic profiles from crime scenes. A lab has to be able to develop a certain amount of the suspect's DNA before they're allowed to put that profile into CODIS.
Do you have them by the case numbers?
I have them by agency case number or victim name.
If I think go by case number.
The way CODIS works is that it compares the profiles to each other, and if we're lucky, we'll get a hit on a known offender and we'll get that person's name.
Case number 40472.
Yes.
There is male DNA detected on
With such a high percentage of the kits that we send off yielding DNA profiles,
39418.
we're really hoping to get Flint PD a lot of new leads on dozens of cases and help get these bad guys off their streets.
The next one is 13661.
That is a negative kit.
Okay.
But even in cases with no DNA, there's still a lot of work to be done and a ton of hope that they can be solved.
We have one more that we haven't gone over yet, which is Brianna's case.
That was also a CODIS comparable profile.
Oh, good. Brianna was a very young victim at the time of her assault. And with a full DNA profile of her assailant being uploaded to CODIS, we may get lucky and get a hit and a suspect name. Brianna was about 18 years old when she somehow hooked up with this guy through text messages. They were together and she wanted to leave and he was trying to make her stay. And then he started forcing himself on her sexually, started hitting her.
The medical records substantiate every single word she says about what happened during the attack.
She had the injury to her left eye.
Where that made the doctors suspect a fracture.
You see an escalation of the violence in this incident. As she continues to resist, his violence continues to increase. First striking her, then she puts up a struggle. I guess we can project what would have happened had the violence continued beyond that.
The cases we've seen so far in Flint involve victims that were attacked by strangers. But in Brianna's case, not only are we awaiting DNA results, we also think that Brianna may be able to identify him because they had been communicating prior to the attack. So Will is eager to meet with Brianna to hear all the details.
Hey, Ann, did she know to come over here or the station?
I didn't talk to her.
We understand a victim's reluctance to dredge up painful memories, but without Brianna's participation, we can't go forward.
Tried calling Brianna a couple times, and we're having problems getting a hold of her. So we're just I think we'll give her some time.
I see this all the time where a victim is reluctant to come forward for a variety of reasons. Not wanting to be in the spotlight, not wanting to dredge up really painful memories from a horrific attack, and a fear of retaliation. So we understand this, but we want Brianna to know that we are going to support her if she wants to move forward.
I'm mistaken. I may have been here before.
According to the police report, members of Brianna's family were with her right after the attack, so we would like to talk with them to find out how she's been coping with it since it happened.
Hi, Tanaya.
I'm Sergeant down at storage.
Brianna's sister Tanaya picked her up directly after the assault.
Like, when we went to go get her, my granny was like, what happened to your face? Like, because her face was swollen. It was like a big old knot on her eye. You know? She like, I'm okay. God gonna handle this and all this. I don't want y'all to go back and retaliate and all this. Then my stepdaddy was like, you better tell me what house she was at and all this and all that. She was like, no, I'm not gonna tell nobody where he stay at because it's okay.
She kept saying God's gonna handle him?
Yeah, all right, he is, but right now, like,
Right.
look at you.
You want it happen. You want something to happen to him in your time, not his, huh? Don't you think he should go to prison?
She gonna have to talk at court.
The court process can be so intimidating for victims, but we really do need Brianna's cooperation to move forward.
You know, I grew up around here. You know what I'm saying? But we don't put up with no rapists. I'm sure everybody in this neighborhood, the fellas, would whoop his ass.
Yeah, because she was like, if I had to testify, his family probably gonna be looking at me crazy. I said, shoot, but she was like, but I know I got support. I'm like, exactly. Look at all of us. I'm like, look at my face right now. Do it look like I care about his family? And then she was like, right. She was like, but I'm just scared to testify. I'm like, well, you gonna have to testify if they ask you to, so might as well go ahead.
She probably don't trust nobody right now. You know, and it'll help her get some closure. You know what I'm saying?
We're so happy that Brianna is finally coming in to talk to Will.
You need your water, anything you need, okay?
I can never assume to know what a victim's going through, and sometimes people just don't want to talk about it. They need to get justice for themselves because the person that really solves the crime is the victim.
Okay. And now we're gonna go right back to the beginning, okay? How did you guys get connected that day?
I don't know how he popped up with my number. And he said I gave him my number. So we was talking on the phone, and then he asked me to come chill, and I went to chill. 10, 15 minutes after being there, we got into it. Because my phone had died soon as I walked in, and he wouldn't give my battery back. And we started wrestling and fighting. And he was trying to put his stuff in my mouth.
You mean penis?
Yes. I guess I scratched him, and he got to repeatedly punching me in my face. And that's when he started raping me. After the hits to the face, I felt like what would be best, to keep fighting and lose my life, or to just give up and hope that he don't take my life. And I'll be able to go home to my son. So that's why I quit fighting. I stopped fighting and I just started crying. But I'm crying the whole time.
It's difficult to make a victim relive the nightmare of an attack, but that memory is key to identifying the perpetrator.
If you want to close your eyes, you can. I just want you to think of this person's face.
Oh,
That's easy?
Yeah, because I feel like you can never forget somebody that done harm you. You will always remember their face. And then he like, the guy be writing me on Facebook.
Huh? He still writes you on Facebook now?
I believe that's him.
Do you have his picture on Facebook and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's his name on Facebook that he goes by?
He got like, I am Dixie.
I am Dixon?
Yeah.
The fact that Brianna's attacker has reached out to her via Facebook is actually shocking. Although it might help us determine his identity, the fact that he uses a pseudonym is going to make that a little bit more difficult.
He's so young. And he just had a baby girl 2 months ago. And I don't want to seem like I'm a snitch or nothing like that. But I'm like, I got to protect other females. Because what was done to me, it could be done to them even worse.
You're not a snitch if somebody
done something wrong to me, right?
You did nothing wrong.
Because, you know, some females don't even...
They don't say anything.
Say anything.
Because they're scared.
That's a fact. Mm-hmm. It's really heartbreaking that Brianna feels sorry for the man that attacked her and that she actually feels sorry for his child instead of what happened to her. Hopefully we can encourage her to look after herself and remain committed to the prosecution of the person that did this to her. While the Flint Police Department works on the I Am Dixon Facebook account, and while we also await DNA results on Brianna's case to determine if there's a CODIS hit, we're going to start looking at another case. Well, let's talk about Sarah's case then. Sarah's case was a drug deal gone wrong, and it happened back in 2012. It was obviously a setup. I mean, he set her up. 3 assailants carjacked Sarah and took her to the porch of an abandoned house.
I mean, these guys are really terrorizing her. They all have guns. They're talking about killing her. They're asking each other what to do with her.
Her attacker robbed her and forced her at gunpoint to give him oral sex.
She had a name of Noah and a nickname of Rabbit.
Well, it says Noah pointed a gun to her head. According to Sarah's police report, Rabbit and an unknown third assailant left in Sarah's car while Noah forced her at gunpoint to give him oral sex. We know from the 911 call that she told the officer about the possible evidence. Sarah reported to the police that she had spit out Noah's semen, so the police took a swab of the inside of Sarah's mouth, but we got no results from that.
When you swab the inside of somebody's mouth, you get so much of her DNA that you end up with basically a buccal swab from your victim,
of her,
and that's it.
Though Sarah's case has no DNA, with scary suspects still out on the street in her case and really good leads in tracking them down, the Flint Police Department is eager to investigate and prosecute Sarah's case.
While we spend so much energy talking about DNA on these cases because we are testing a lot of kits, it's really important to not lose focus on the fact that cases are tried and convicted every single day in every single state of this country without DNA. Sarah's currently serving time on a parole violation, so the first person we want to talk to is her sister, Lisa.
How you feeling this morning?
Something to close this.
Lisa's the person Sarah ran to right after the attack.
All we have to do is right now is talk about when Sarah came over that day.
She came pounding on the door. She was hysterically crying to the point to where it took me a while to calm her down to even tell me what was going on. She's just crying. I'm like, Sarah, what's wrong? Tell me what happened. She said she went over there. I don't know if she went over there to buy some pills or sell some pills. She said as soon as she pulled up, they jumped in the car, took her keys, and they was like, yeah, you know what this is. There was 2 that got in the back and 1 that got in the front. And they took her into an abandoned house. And the one stayed back at the house with her, had her at gunpoint, talking about, I should just noodle your ass. And he made her suck it. And when the other 2 came back, they discussed whether they was gonna kill her or not. They decided not to kill her, and she came straight here. First I said we need to call the police. But then when I seen how bad she wanted to brush her teeth and stuff, I said, we just need to go to the hospital. The hospital will call the police. No, I'm not going.
Well, you sure did the right thing, encouraging her to go to the hospital. That was important, to get the police involved and that kind of thing, so.
You know, she just felt like her life could have ended that night.
A According to the police report from Sarah's 2012 rape, she only knew her rapist by the name of Noah and one of the other assailants by the nickname of Rabbit. All right, so we're working on some intelligence on Noah and Rabbit, okay? We're reviewing dispatch calls from the hours after the attack to find out if there's any other information that would help.
If you could send out a 2-man car, look for a white house with an enclosed porch. Right when you walk on the enclosed porch, there's a couch in there. If we can look for maybe saliva or sperm that would be spit out onto the porch for DNA. Okay.
They described it good. They were able to find the house.
Hi. Officer Wesley Suttles was at Hurley Medical Center when Sarah came in just after the attack.
She seemed visibly upset and very somber.
Right. Yeah.
Are you familiar with that area that she said they hang around? Is it Arlington and Broadway?
That's actually my beat right now.
What's that area like?
That's not a good area to begin at all.
If that's your beat, is there any chance that you know or you've come across Noah or Rabbit?
No, I've not come across them at all.
Well, we do appreciate all you're doing.
With these reports and these things constantly come in, we are inundated.
And you guys have had a real manpower decrease.
Well, I've been laid off about 5 times.
Yeah, I think he's got the record. There's other agencies for officers like Officer Suttles to go to that will pay more, do less. But we have dedicated officers that want to stay, that want to keep the fight and continue to do what they can because they know this city needs help.
They do.
And that's what they're doing. That's the great thing about the City of Flint officers.
Do we have some stuff?
Yes, I printed out their photos.
Okay.
Flint Police Department is still looking for who the real people are behind the names of Noah and Rabbit in the Sarah's attack.
I have photos in there of Noah Bittis and Andrew Turner. Andrew Turner is Rabbit.
Do we have an association between Rabbit and Noah in our reporting system?
Not in our RMS, no, but I spoke with one of our bank guys and they verified that those two are well-known associates of each other. They look slightly different now, so I was going to use arrest photos from 2012 and do lineups.
That's Rabbit?
Yes, that's Rabbit.
You're doing great work.
Thanks.
On Sarah's case, our intel group found a gentleman whose first name is Noah. They found an associate of his who in our database, his nickname is Rabbit.
That's amazing.
All right, let's go to the board. Wow.
Good work, guys.
Rabbit, also known as Andrew Turner, is already in jail for an aggravated assault. But there are several outstanding warrants for Sarah's suspected rapist, Noah Bittis, so the police department can go ahead and arrest Noah, and we have an opportunity to talk to him. Will is headed to Huron County Correctional Facility to talk to Sarah directly about the attack. In addition to getting Sarah's statement, we also hope that she can look at a photo spread and possibly identify her attacker, Noah, also fill in some of the details about the other assailants. Meanwhile, the police department thinks they know where Noah is, so they're going to try to bring him in for questioning. You know we're dying. How did it go?
Sarah was very upfront and truthful. The person they didn't identify him in the report. Turns out she says he's a male Hispanic named Davi.
Okay.
I did the 6-picture lineup for Noah. She couldn't ID Noah.
She did not ID Noah.
She did not ID Noah.
Okay.
And in the 6-pack for Rabbit, she picked them out in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Now again, in the report that she took, she said Noah is the one that made her give oral sex. Right. But in this, it's Rabbit.
There's a chance the original officer could have just confused the two names.
Or again, she could have confused it just by being in shock and being upset.
Though Sarah's police report stated that Noah was the rapist, it's easy to understand considering the intensity of the attack. And you just have an officer trying to take notes there by her bedside in the hospital, how this could have gotten confused. But her instantaneous reaction to her attacker's face in Will's photo lineup is undeniable.
Well, even though she didn't identify Noah, maybe when you interview him, he might say something that
implicate himself, yep. Now be trying to do Noah today.
What was surprising about Sarah's interview is we actually found out from her that the person that really raped her was Rabbit, and that Noah and his younger brother Davi were the other two assailants. With all the information that we developed through Sarah's statement, now Will knows that Noah was involved in that robbery, and that's going to help him as he interrogates him.
What you been doing now? What do you do?
I sit at home, guard the house for my mom, pretty much.
You live with your mom?
Yeah, I stay with my mom.
How's she doing?
Bad shape, though.
She's bad shape?
Shot a few years ago in her face.
I'm sorry about that, man. But you're taking care of her?
Trying.
You're being a good son, aren't you?
Trying.
All right, so I'd love nothing more than for you to stay out of this life.
Going.
And stay with your mother.
Yeah.
But we've all done things in our past that, you know, sometimes they haven't caught up to us yet. So, I have a young lady here that said you and Rabbit and somebody else, I did something to her. So let's go back to that day. She was talking to you on the phone, which you had her pull into a house somewhere in Maplewood. Let me finish, though, okay? Then you got into the car with a gun.
That knows a lie, 'cause I never robbed nobody like straight up gun in the face type shit.
Well, maybe you didn't do it, because I'm not thinking you did it.
No, I didn't.
I'm thinking Rabbit was there. And I know you know Davy was there, too.
No.
Well, Rabbit was pissed. She didn't have more money. Rabbit made her strip down naked. Rabbit made her take all of her clothes off. Nope, look at me. I've been doing this for years now. All I do is rapes. I don't take robberies because I don't give a... But this girl was raped, okay? She was raped by somebody that is not you, okay? You guys left, okay? She ended up walking naked for blocks to get to this car. I'd walk through hell. I'd do anything for my mother. If I have to take a little slap on the wrist for something so I can be with my mother, I'll do it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Noah, look at me. Tell me what happened, beginning to end.
I remember some girl pulled up to an abandoned house, and I remember getting in the car. There was only two people, which was me and Rabbit, so I know for a fact my brother was not there. Anyway, I think she was supposed to buy pills.
Right.
But she didn't have nothing on her, no money or nothing.
How many Vicodins did you guys have, do you remember?
Nah, none.
You have none?
None at all.
So you guys were having her coming over to rob her, and then what happened?
That's when we went out to the car.
You guys got in the car?
Yeah.
Rabbit points a gun at her?
Yes.
So once you guys got in the car, what did Rabbit say?
Give me your shit.
Well, what did she guys give you? She gave you something.
No, she didn't give nothing. She didn't have anything.
Then what happened?
Pretty much when we got out the car.
All three of you?
Everybody did, yeah.
Okay.
I know when I took off running, I ran back. I'm the one that jumped in the car and I took off in the car.
You took off and you came back to the car. Where were they at?
Gone.
Noah's admission that he drove off and left Rabbit alone with Sarah strongly backs up Sarah's accusation of Rabbit.
Did you go in here and make sure that they were inside the porch?
No, I did not.
Did he say what he did, what he was doing?
I had no idea. Even
Okay, did he ever tell you afterwards?
Never.
Did he tell you the shit he did to her?
Not at all.
I appreciate you telling me the truth, okay? Hey, do you feel better?
I do, man. Because
all right, good. Every time I walk somebody out here and they tell me stuff that you told me that I know was hard, they feel better.
Will did a really good job with Noah, and I'm looking forward to seeing him work his magic when he speaks with Rabbit, who won't know what Noah had said.
Noah did a great job of telling maybe 90% of the truth. And so our next step would be going to talk to Mr. Turner.
Oh, Rabbit, for sure. Yeah. So while Will's making arrangements to visit Rabbit in prison, we're going to keep working on our other case. We're still waiting to determine whether or not we're going to get a CODIS hit in Brianna's case. So in the meantime, we're going to reach out to members of her family to determine how they are supporting her after this attack.
I'm Sergeant Donistork from the Flint Police.
Oh, yeah. Representative.
Yes, sir.
She began to sympathize the fact that the guy has a little child. And I was very upset. I told her no, that let this guy get away with that. You
No.
know? Who knows how many other victims there would be if he was allowed to continue, you know, not to be held accountable for his actions.
The emotional effects of a rape don't just affect the survivor.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
They affect the family members and everyone close to the victim.
I'm so glad that she walked away with her life because she could have been dead, really. If he feels that he can get away with abusing my daughter and raping her and beating her, then he feels that he probably can get away with it down the road if he tries.
He probably has gotten away with it.
Probably have.
We did get a CODIS hit on this case.
We just got a call from the lab with really good news about the DNA from Brianna's rape kit.
Marcel Robinson is the name. You know, that's the beautiful thing about DNA. Marcel Robinson left a picture of himself at the crime scene.
The DNA provided us with the real name of this I Am Dixon guy from Facebook. And now the Flint Police Department is locating Marcel Robinson and bringing him in for questioning.
Did you hear from Devin?
Yep, Devin told me Marcel's in custody, so that's great.
Obviously, when you get back, you're going to want to interview him, right?
That's correct.
We'll hit the ground running with you when you get back.
All right, that sounds great.
I am very curious to hear what he has to say.
It'll be interesting.
While Will travels to prison to talk to Rabbit, we want to let Brianna know about Marcel Robinson's arrest.
I remember maybe 8, 9 years ago, I started really seeing it.
Detective Jason Cate is helping out with the casework while Will is out of town. He's been with the Flint Police Department for a long time, and he's really seen it go through a lot of these troubled times.
I remember telling one of my partners driving on the road, like, man, you notice there's a lot of businesses shutting down? That don't seem like a good thing to me.
Right.
I think that's tax revenue that pays our wages.
Right.
I could be wrong.
A big part of police department funding comes from the city's taxes. And during difficult economic times when property value and income drops, so does that funding.
We were at one point where I remember being on the road all by myself, this whole city, driving around in a police car with literally nobody.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Nobody can back you up. I mean,
all you do is sit and listen to all the B&Es go out, you listen to the shootings, you listen to everything while you're driving along. Okay.
Perfect. Hi, how are you? Oh, good. We're really thankful that you were willing to come forward and tell your story, because I know it wasn't easy. We just wanted to deliver some good news. We had a DNA hit on your case, and it came back to Marcel Robinson, the person that had been Facebooking with you. They arrested him this morning. Yeah, very good news.
Didn't take long.
I know. They're all over this case. Believe me, these guys are working really hard. What you're doing is really important.
I started feeling bad.
Why?
Because he just had a baby, and he been like a father to that baby.
It is difficult because of the things you've stated about him, but it's absolutely the right thing for you to stand up for yourself, because the thing is you may not realize it, but other people hear your story and know your story and see how brave you are, and it helps them be brave.
Exactly.
You know? Thank you. Thank you. We're in the middle of investigating 2 different cases here in Flint. An arrest has been made in Brianna's case, Marcel Robinson, and he's awaiting questioning by Will. And Will is up at Kinross Correctional Facility to interview Sarah's alleged attacker, Rabbit, who's serving prison time for an aggravated assault.
You know this young lady? You want to hold it?
No, I ain't never seen her a day.
Never seen her?
No, I don't even know who that is.
Because we don't have any DNA evidence in this case, the witness statements and the interviews with the suspects become that much more important.
The woman in the picture ID'd you, and Noah said you had set up this young lady that she was going to come and buy some Vicodins from you guys. She pulled into her driveway on Maplewood, and you guys took some money and took her car briefly.
I don't rob nobody, first of all. Why would I rob somebody when I got a pocket full of money? That don't even make no damn sense. Now, if you're talking about a car that got a robbery, a car that got took, Noah did that, okay?
How do you know Noah did that?
Because he was driving around in the goddamn car, and when he brought it up to somebody's attention over there, we told him, go get the back.
It's kind of ridiculous that Rabbit claims to know absolutely nothing about this incident, but quickly remembers Noah stealing the car.
I say you used to hang out over there on Maplewood at that house.
If you're talking about the house on Maplewood, I have been at the house before. Everybody's been at the house. You know what I mean? Everybody's been there. Never went in.
I got this victim saying that you guys went in there, made her strip down. They took off in the car, you stayed. Then there's something about you raping her.
I raped somebody? This is crazy. Rape? Get plenty of action out there. You need to rape somebody for.
I got Noah saying it, and I got her saying it.
No, I'm telling you, man, I was never there. I never seen that girl a day in my life. And Noah never even kicked it with him like that. I mean, come on, man. This is crazy.
While Rabbit denies knowledge of the incident, he sure does remember Noah stealing the car and everything about the house where it took place. In light of that, as well as how quickly Sarah was able to identify his photo, and Noah's statement that Rabbit was alone with Sarah after they attacked her, there's a strong circumstantial case against him for the sexual assault of Sarah.
We've gotten so much done in Sarah's case, we want to go over and tell Sarah's mom and her sister Lisa the good news.
She'll be able to close that horrific chapter in her life and know that these people are paying for what they did to her.
Heard a lot about you when I met with your daughter, Lisa.
Okay. All good, I hope.
Of course.
I went and saw Sarah, and she gave me a great statement of what happened again. Now, the 3 suspects that supposedly robbed and assaulted her, all 3 are arrested now.
Oh.
2 were already in jail on other charges. 1 we tracked down. The main thing, all 3 are in custody.
Awesome.
This is coming to an end.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear.
They're not going anywhere. They're not going to hurt anybody else. It's helpful to show the family that, you know, we do care. We are there for them. The investigation is moving forward, and we are going to prosecute these individuals for the assault.
I think she's going to feel wonderful, and I can't wait for her to call now.
I know they can't do it to somebody else.
Exactly. I know you and your sister are very close.
Best friends.
Best friends, right. Right. Well, I'm sure you're very proud of her for moving forward with all this.
Yes. Yep.
They discussed in front of her whether they were going to let her live or die. That was very hard for me to know that she had to go through that.
Yeah, I'm sure it was very terrifying.
Then you can be very proud of her for being so courageous and standing up, keeping people off the streets that could hurt someone else.
I think that made her feel like she was worth it.
We certainly believe that. That's why we're here.
I agree. I believe that too. I'm hoping that this is going to empower her and let her know that she is valuable and that she does have the right and that she can make the right decisions and have a good life and be the type of woman that I know that she can be.
We've really made huge strides in resolving Sarah's case, and now we need to focus back on Brianna's. Brianna's rape suspect, Marcel Robinson, is already under arrest, and Will's heading in to interview him about what happened that night.
Marcel, look at me. Do you know this young lady?
No.
Not at all?
No. She only looked like somebody I know off of Facebook. That's it.
Well, you never seen her in person?
No, sir.
How long have you been talking to her on Facebook?
I never spoke to her.
So you never ever messaged her?
I've never ever messaged her.
Well,
I'm not gonna
I talked to her. She said that she came over to a house with you. You guys started wrestling because you had her cell phone battery.
No!
Were you guys drinking?
No,
smoking?
I don't drink. I don't smoke.
You ever used to sell?
No. If you call my
And she
mom.
said at some point in time you guys had sex.
Sir,
and she
I never had sex with this lady.
And she really didn't want to.
No, sir. I've never had sex with this lady. That's why my child's like, I've never had sex with this lady ever in my life.
You ended up hitting her in the face.
I never hit her. Listen to me. Listen to what I
Okay.
say this, okay? I never hit her.
Her eye swelled up. I have medical documents stating that it was swelled up. She had a rape kit down.
Okay.
You know what a rape kit is?
Yes, sir.
That's when they take swabs of everything inside.
Is it my DNA in it?
Yes, it is. So what I need from you, Marcel, I need the truth. You know what a rape kit is?
Yes, sir. Is it my DNA in it?
Yes, it is. I need the truth. Look at me.
Okay, can I tell you the truth?
Yeah.
This is what happened. I had some money at the time, okay? At that time, y'all was selling drugs at that time. She came over, we smoked a couple blunts, it was no fighting. Now that I can tell you on my child. She asked to trick with me. I gave her $100, sir, before we did anything. Then we had sex.
So you remember having sex with her now?
Yes, yes.
Is that house here, the one on Pasadena, what I'm talking about?
No,
So,
that one's on Pasadena.
so you remember that one?
Now I remember. Now I remember.
He keeps tripping over himself.
It's really quite amazing how Marcel Robinson switches from, I swear on my child's life, to, okay, maybe it happened a little bit differently.
I didn't rape her. I didn't do any of that. I gave her $100. This is the honest to God truth. Yeah, I took her phone. I threw it at the wall. That's because she tried to take some more money of mine. But I never, ever hit her.
Look, there's something more you want to tell me, so just, I'm not done writing the statement.
I never raped her. Now that will never change. But instead of the phone part, when she went to go grab my money out of my jeans, I did slap her.
There you go.
That's the truth.
That explains that, right?
Yes, I did strike her. That's because she tried to take my money in my pocket. So like, who wouldn't fight somebody over their money?
So is that when you grabbed her phone, threw it on the ground, and possibly broke it, and then you slapped her? What was the order? I want to get the order right.
That's the thing, sir. When I told you about the phone part didn't even happen. The phone part, the slap part should be where the phone part is. That's why I put the phone part.
So you lied about grabbing the phone and breaking it?
Yes. So I wouldn't have to tell you that I struck her.
Awesome. Okay. With Marcel Robinson lying and continuously changing his story, he's giving the prosecutor the ammunition they need to put together a great case. Because if he'll lie about one thing, he'll certainly lie about another.
That's everything, though, right?
That's everything, sir. But I know you still don't believe me. You still think I raped this girl.
I think you told me more. And I think that's good. Sit right here, Brianna.
How are you doing? Marcel Robinson signed a very incriminating statement, and we're very excited to tell Brianna the good news and all the progress that we've made.
He has been arrested. He has been charged. I interrogated him and got a very good statement from him.
So much of what he was able to get from your interview, he was able to use a lot of that in interrogating the defendant.
I just knew his family was gonna harass me.
That's a normal concern to have. You just make sure you keep going to the police when you need help, when somebody's bothering you.
Brianna, what are your thoughts about what you want to do from here on out?
I'll probably go back to school to become a registered nurse.
What about nursing interests you?
You have to take care of elderly people that can't take care of themselves.
And I see that in you. You have a very loving heart.
And a job at Hurley would mean giving back and helping people, just like the nurses who gathered your rape kit were able to help you. And that's an amazing story.
And you know, the way that you implement plans like that, Brianna, is to just put one foot in front of the other.
And I think it would be really great for you to get into just a little bit of counseling so that you can sort of deal with some of those issues.
I feel like counseling can't help because to go through something and hold it in for so many years, it don't matter who I talk to, it's still like I'm still gonna be a different person inside than what I would have been. And it screwed me over in the long run because now I got an attitude problem. Now I got a fighting problem. And it's like I got so many different problems because I held it in.
You're right. You'll never be the person you would have been if this stuff didn't happen to you. And I'm sorry for that. And we all wish we could change that for you. But the best thing you can do going forward is to get the kind of help you need so that you can turn everything going forward into a more positive way of dealing with the things that have happened to you.
You don't have to be on your own, and you're not on your own. We'll still be seeing each other. I'll still be here.
Well, we're super proud of you, Brianna. We really are.
Thank y'all, too.
Brianna's obviously suffered so much from this very traumatic experience. But hopefully she can find some peace in knowing that her attacker has been arrested.
All right, get a hug, too, since everybody else gets hugs.
And move towards all of those big goals of hers. it has been a whirlwind. Yesterday was very intense, very productive. After so much investigation and really a lot of progress on these cases, unfortunately, we have to leave Flint. With the work we've done in the last couple of weeks here in Flint, we hope that we've at least done something to help a small department, that's undermanned. With the 38 DNA profiles that the lab was able to give us, there are going to be a lot of hits coming in.
I have your case. We're talking about back in May of 2013.
I just want you to start at the very beginning.
This is going to give the Flint Police Department a lot of work to do as they reopen these cases.
I mean, you see the teams that are going out and doing surveillance and checking out addresses and picking these suspects up or searching for witnesses. I mean, it's just really a tremendous effort across the board by this entire agency.
I know the chief of police here has to be very proud, and Will really does have a gift for these types of cases, and I can't wait to see the progress that he makes in the coming weeks with these cases. We're passing the whiteboard torch over to you, Will. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, you don't have to go it alone. Assistance is available 24/7 by calling the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE or visit RAIN.org.
Don't miss new episodes of Cold Justice and Cold Justice Sex Crimes Friday starting at 8 on TNT.